Mhm. May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly market forecast update. That's right. I said updates. All right. I gave what, maybe six videos out over the weekend. And uh, I want to go over the forecast that I gave for those videos and in those markets. And what we're talking about is the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, crude oil, gold, silver, platinum, and stay till the end because I want to do a full analysis of copper. Okay, now let's start with ES and we're going to update. Now, I'm not going to go over the full forecast. I want you to go back and check out those forecasts that I just put out 2 days ago. All right, I want you to go out and check those forecasts out. I will leave a link at the end of this video or in the comment section, or in the notes section just below this video. So do check out the full forecast for the videos, for the assets I'm about to go over. All right, now we're going to go over ES, and we started looking at the weekly. I was looking for this candle. I was looking for the candle to open bullish. You see the end of the week last week, right? And then you see the beginning of the week. Yes, there is a big gap up and a lot of momentum to the upside. Now, you got to think about what Trump is doing. He's put out hints of more sanctions on aluminum and steel tariffs, and I'm talking about tariffs. I'm sorry, tariffs and all, and he's talking about oil. Putting sanctions on, tightening the sanctions on the Russian oil and the Iranian oil going out there. There's some things going on that's causing movement in the markets. All right, but if we're just going to look at the S&P, I want you to see this is the opening candle. All right, for today, and you can see what a big gap that is. It gapped down and then immediately closed that gap with some momentum. I'm looking at, I set these targets during the forecast, and I believe that we're going to hit one after the other. All right, and uh, just understand that price may linger tomorrow. It may do one of these numbers, right? I don't know why I drew it like that, but it may linger tomorrow because Wednesday is CPI data. So you want to be careful of that. So if we go to the 4 hour, you can see that we had this gap down on 2 Mondays ago. We had this gap down the Monday before last, just a Monday ago. And this Monday, we have a gap that was immediately filled. This one was immediately filled. This one, not so immediate, but it was filled. Got it? This one was immediate. That's what makes me think there's a lot of upward momentum. We can be going up to the highs. All right. I'm also looking at the fact that there is an area of demand that price came down into. I thought I didn't want to see it go past that low. It gapped down and opened low and then pulled up high. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to hold above this high. As long as it holds above this high, I'm looking at price coming up to these highs, right? All right. If it does take out these lows, that exposes this area of demand, and price would have to travel ways to get there. But then I'm looking for price to give me a high probability setup for the upside. Yes. All right. If we go to NASDAQ, we can see basically the same kind of price action. If we just go to the daily, I want you to go back and check out my forecast for the indices. I got one video that takes care of all three of them. All right. You can see the gap down. You can see the pull up, and you see how close we are to the buy side liquidity target. All right. And I'm thinking that, you know, it looks like we have the momentum to get up there. All right. Yes, there is a fair value gap here on the 4 hour that price could use to go higher. All right, but I don't do a lot of fair value gap. Uh, 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 I don't depend on them on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. I don't, because you can see how the one here was disrespected. The one here was disrespected. All right, you can see them over here. They were not respected. They didn't create a higher price. It didn't take out those highs. So I'm not really dependent on it. So what am I looking at? If price is not seeking liquidity, it's seeking to rebalance. All right, it rebalanced this volume gap. It found the demand that I was looking for price to come into when I gave the forecast. Yes, it did spike past that low, but what is this overall area? This is an overall area of fair value. All right, that we have the sell before the buy up, the sell before the buy up, and price came back into that area and pushed higher. That's what you want to see. All right, and so far we're doing all right up there. Now I'm looking at this area to hold price from going lower, and I'm looking for price to give another push to the upside. Yes, YM is a little different. It opened a little weak. This is the it didn't it opened the same way with the gap, but the push up was weakened. All right, and yeah, it did. Like I pointed out, it did go into this area of supply. All right, tapping it in here. Now we're and put this low, and we're going into a bit of a consolidation. If it goes past this low, then we're going here, and we're probably going to turn back around into this area of demand where it can sweep all this what do you call sell side liquidity, and then give us a high probability trade to the upside. That's what I'm looking at. All right, if it continues higher and takes out that high, then I will be looking at this as my new area of demand, and I will be waiting for price to come inside so that I can take a high probability trade to the upside. Yeah, that's it. All right. If we look at crude oil is bearish. And I was, there's a bunch of things going on. The higher prices due to tightening on U.S. sanctions. That's what we see here. Uh, This was Friday's candle. This is Monday's candle. We've had a full, uh, couple. The last 2 days have been bullish, and we haven't had a strong bullish push like this in how long? Look at all these candles. This is the first one that's broken a high. This here, this move here, has me is not aligned with the higher time frame bearish bias. It is this we have this market structure shift here after it broke this high, we look for price to come back into an area of demand that would be here. Right now, this whole area is the demand area. All right, let me get rid of this thing. It's driving me crazy. All right, that whole thing is the area of demand. If we look at it, if I can just do it right, I don't know why is it doing that. I don't know. Okay, can I get it right? Yeah. All right. This whole thing here is demand. All right, and price is going to push down into it and seek higher prices. But I want to see if it does that. All right, and this line here is the line. Oops, I'm sorry. This line here is the line that. All right. Let me try it one more time. This line is the line that I'm looking for price to stay below. All right. As long as that line is there, I'm looking for price to continue down. All right. We are. I'm not going to take sells until price turns around. This is a bullish indication, and I need price to take out this low and then pull back. That way, I can take a higher time frame, a higher probability trade to the downside. Right now it's turned bullish, and I don't want to take a bullish trade just yet. All right, not until I see price take out that high. Got it? So yeah. All right. If I can just get out of this. All right. If we go to gold, all right, gold has been bullish. Period. All right, and I set a buy side liquidity target already. If we go to the 4 hour, you can see it very clearly. Very clearly. All right. I was looking at this line right here, and it took out that buy side target and then some. So, uh, what are we supposed to do now? I can't take longs from here. I got to wait for price to pull back and then take my long. That'll make it higher probability. I'm not looking for a reversal. I'm not looking for any shorts yet because it's not indicating any shorts. There are no market structure shifts to the downside. So it's all bullish. Now, on the higher time frame, the daily, I'm looking for price to give me a fair value gap that it could use to give me a 2 candle, 3 candle push to the upside. Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm waiting for that pullback. That's it. Get it right around the 50% of this fair value gap, and then I'll be interested in taking another long. All right. Until it does that, there's nothing to do except wait for it to pull back. Silver. I set I set a sell side liquidity target here, right? And I was looking for the open candle. And what is this? Hold on. This is Monday's candle. This is today's candle. Now, what you're going to see on the 4 hour is a little bit more detail. What happens is price went into this consolidation. This is the I don't want that. This is the consolidation, right? And price is messing around inside of that. You don't want to get messed up in that, all right? Because it doesn't respect your drawings, your fair value gap drawings, your order block drawings. It does not respect consolidation. Those things get violated. What you wait for is price to to break out of these areas. You want to see a sweep, and once you see the sweep of the highs or the sweep of these lows, then because you know that prices once we get the sweep, that it's heading towards those lows. Once we get a buy side liquidity sweep, it's heading towards the sell side and or the opposite. So I told you that this liquidity target was going to be an easy one here, and of course we hit it, but it came into that demand that I had staked out right here, and boom, and it's pushing up higher. Now, what now? Well, the only thing we can do is wait until it breaks that low here. All right, I want to see price break that low into this demand for it to give me higher prices. Either it breaks that low or it breaks this high. When it pulls back, it's pulling back into demand. This all becomes demand. And once price pulls above it, comes back, I want to see higher prices. That's it. Nothing complicated. All right. If it comes back down here, and I don't believe it should, but if it comes back down here to take that low, I'm looking for price to give me a high probability trade to the upside. That's all there is to it, because this will be the bottom of this consolidation. Once it sweeps the sell side liquidity, I'm looking for it to go up high. Now, could it go down here? Of course it could, because this could be the low, the liquidity low that acts as inducement for this area of demand. So, it's either one or the other. And I'm looking for a high probability trade to the upside from either one of these areas. Take this low, then I'll be looking for price to bump off of this one. Take this low, I'll be looking for price to bump off of this one, but it's already been here. So I'm looking to see how it reacts here. This is the middle of the range, and I don't want to mess around in that. Let it do its thing, and I'll wait for the pullback. Got it? Easy enough. All right. Platinum. Platinum came off exactly how I thought it would. All right. What did I say? I said price is coming down into this area of demand. I'm looking for price to tap this area of demand and push higher. That's exactly what it gave us. Exactly. And it hit our buy side liquidity target. And here's the other one. I'm waiting for price now. Now you got to ask, what now? Let's go to the 4 hour. All right. I'm looking for price to pull back because it broke this high. All right. I'm looking for price to once it took that buy side liquidity target, all of this becomes demand. I'm looking for price to come down into that and go higher. Where would it? Where do I look for that turnaround? Right? You got a fair value gap here, and that's a fair place to look for that kind of turnaround. All right? That's pretty simple. Okay. There's another fair value gap to look at as well here. An earlier one, but you look for the reaction, and you want to see low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Once it pulls back, that's the one you want. That's when you want to enter. Okay. If we look at the copper, now copper, like I said, I wanted to give you a full dose of this. Look at copper on the weekly. I just want you to see this. All right. That looks interesting to me. Why? Why does it look interesting? Because if you do this, it hits perfectly. It's in an upward channel. It hits, and I believe this low, once it tapped that support low, it should be heading back to that resistance high. All right. I'm not a support and resistance trader, but these are the way things go sometimes. I mean, and it's traveling perfectly within within this thing. Now, I believe it's bullish, and I had price going up from looking at the previous weekly candle. You can see how it closed well above the highs of the previous weeks, the previous 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? And I'm looking for price to pull back and go higher. Okay, if we go to the daily, you'll see what I'm saying. All right, very strong impulsive move. I'm looking for the pullback into this fair value gap. Now, some people are going to say this is a breakaway gap. Yes, it is. Price could give us the fair value gap tomorrow once it closes, and it could possibly use this one, which is more proximal. I mean, it's closer to the objective than this one. True, but I'm looking for a pullback. And if the price does what I think it's going to do, we're going to get it. It's going to be close for that fair value gap. So I'm looking for either the formation of a fair value gap after tomorrow's close tomorrow here, or a pullback into this one, which I believe would be a higher probability trade to the upside. I hope that makes sense to you. Look at the 4 hour, and you see that there is a fair value gap for price to pull back into here. And that is located at 4.5705. Okay. I hope that helps. All right. And I'm just looking for price to give us something here. Now, just remember, Wednesday is CPI data. All right. And tomorrow, the Fed chair speaks. So that's probably going to move the market. And I'll be looking for some contact at my POIs. Okay. I hope that you learned something. I hope you gained something. Make sure you go back and look at the links I leave for the forecast that I gave on Saturday. All right. I will leave it for you. And May profits be upon you. Thank you for watching.